Welcome back. It is January, end of January. Do another set of reviews. I'm Kevin,
I'm Don.
and this is my dad, and he reads a lot of books. And I like to take the ones that he rates really high and maybe pick one or two out of those and read them occasionally. So hopefully you'll find something you wanna read.
We've got some good ones this month. We've got four of them.
Four of them this month. Okay.
Yes. Book one. It's the series name is Hell Difficulty Tutorial.
Okay.
It's by Cerim. Series type, isekai, LitRPG, adventure, fantasy. There are 4 books in the series. It is not completed, and the books are 620 to 800 pages long.
They're pretty long.
Yeah, there are some long reads. People are disappearing on Earth. No one knows how or why, and the government leaders are trying to keep it quiet, play it down. Nathaniel Gwynn is experiencing the difficulty firsthand because the bus he's traveling on at night with 23 other people and a dog suddenly gets transported. It disappears from Earth and appears in a flash of light on another world in the middle of a forest, in a clearing in the forest, no roads around, and here's this bus. There are 2 suns in the sky, so it's very obvious right off that they are no longer on Earth. A blue screen shows him his status and informs him that he is on floor number 1 of a hell difficulty tutorial, and that in 5 years he's going to be forced to return to Earth. And that's all the information he gets. In the meantime, he's stuck battling to survive against monsters, horse-sized wolves, goblins, trolls, and bears. And what's worse is the monsters seem to have magic. While he is fighting with flimsy pieces of metal that they can strip off the bus that aren't worth anything as weapons. They don't know why they're here. They don't understand. They don't have any defense against it. They can't get out of it. They are there. Everyone on the bus ended up receiving 2 magical skills. It took them a while to identify the fact that they had magical skills.
Had to go through the system menus.
That's right.
While getting attacked.
Well, they didn't even know about the system menus until he discovered it, clued them in. His 2 skills are mana manipulation and focus, which he quickly masters into a terrifying talent that scares all the other people on the bus. To make matters worse, he can't trust the other passengers on the bus to have his back, and he has to be constantly on guard against them. Nathaniel decides to invest every stat point that he gets into mana attribute, regardless of the imbalance that this is going to cause in his stat sheets. And it will either kill him before the monsters and his enemies can, or turn him into one of the most powerful beings on the planet. And you never underestimate the guy with an excess of mana.
Is that sounds like a tagline from the book.
That's a tagline from the book. His fellow passengers don't seem to like him very much. They don't trust him.
Where were they? I mean, why were they on the bus? It's just a city bus?
We never know. At least to the point that's been written, we aren't told. We get snatches, and it looks more and more ominous of why they might have been on the bus, but we just don't know.
Okay.
But we slowly learn that people don't like him because of his personality. He is an asocial, quiet misfit, showing no emotion and no interest in getting along with anyone else or accommodating other people's wants and desires. But where other people see doom, he sees opportunity. Hell difficulty, that just presents a better chance to thrive in his mind. And so he puts everything he has into getting those stats and putting it all into mana. And they later find out that there are other people that went to easy difficulty, which is not hard to get through, and other people who went to hard difficulty, which you really have to work at to get through, other to medium difficulty, and them to hell. and their tutorial is really hell. It's a different type of protagonist than most of the books because he's not really very likable at first. It takes a while to get used to his personality and start rooting for him. So sometimes you might think you're on the side of the police officer on the bus or some of the other people that don't like him very much.
Is it told completely from his point of view?
Yes. Every once in a while you get a snatch from one of the other people, but most of the book is from his point of view. He slowly learns to tolerate people. And he slowly gets people that he can kind of trust and kind of maybe feel like maybe they might be a friend. But it's a real slow process. But he's determined to beat the odds and survive. And he's determined to get stronger than anyone else so they can't shank him in the back. The story does not coddle anyone. They're in hell difficulty, and it is really hell. But it was a good read. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 9. Very good. It gets better with the subsequent books where he starts to actually make friends and actually try to protect other people. At first, it's a tough go.
So would you rate later books at a 10?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's got to get through the 600 to 800 pages of the first book.
That's right.
But it's still 9.
And part of the second. He's slow to come around to other people. It's violent, bloody. This is fighting against monsters, fighting against each other, executing people that they don't think are doing what the group thinks they ought to do. I gave it a D for profanity. There's one or more characters that tend to use hard profanity in it. There is sexual tension in it. No descriptive sex, but there is sexual tension. And it's rated for teens.
Okay. And then you rated it a 9 because it's harder to get in.
It's
like
just
him.
harder to like him at first. At first, you're not invested in him surviving this. And it's not until he starts fighting and helping people that you start to think, okay, he might turn out to be a pretty decent guy.
Is this a book that likes to kill off characters?
No, a lot of them are killed off just because of the difficulty. And some of the people that you would be rooting for to survive just don't. More than half of them are gone.
Well, half sounds like a good number for that difficulty.
That's right.
Now, mana manipulation and focus do not seem like that terrifying of ability.
Well, they aren't unless you can turn it into something that really is.
Okay.
And he figures out how to turn it into something that's really terrifying.
Okay. Well, I probably won't read it, but it sounded interesting. Maybe one of you will like it.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. 4 books. Hopefully you find something you want to read. If you want to go search for other books that we've reviewed, we put it on our website, dadsbookreviews.com. Go there and take a look. And I guess we'll catch you next month.
Catch you next month. Good reading.